was to build all this in just 4 months, using only services found in the Yellow Pages and the company's online and mobile directory.
They could have faked it. Instead, they decided to really build it because they knew it wouldn't be easy.
They said one of the conditions of you building this restaurant in a tree is you have to have wheelchair access. And it was kind of like, are you having a laugh? You know, I mean, it's a tree house, it's 10 metres off the ground, it's hard enough already. But you kind of go, oh my God, it's going to be a building that's open to the public, you're actually really going to be able to book it, etc. And we can't exclude, you know, anybody from it.
The treehouse is featured in 10,000 online articles on an Asian TV channel with an audience of 50 million.
트리하우스라는 레스토랑인데요.
Even Kanye West has posted photos of it on his blog. Then there are the 2,000 people who paid $95 plus for a meal here. And advertising experts are hoping this creative approach will set a precedent in the industry.
But this comes from a really great idea, which is to build a house in the sky. And there's lots of feedback going out. There's lots of chats happening, which is going to be got more value for anybody than just a few billboards that you might drive past and go, oh, that's cute.
They've already had 500 bookings, so it's proving to be very popular, and it's not every day that you get to dine up a tree. It's open for dinner and lunch, and it's a banquet style, so they'll give you a 3-course banquet style dinner. Both of those will include a glass of bubbly, so I think it'll be a bit of a treat to dine up a tree. What do you reckon?
So, you know, it really it creates an environment to really push people out there and try something. But the thing is, while social networking spreads consumer advocacy quickly, it also teaches the techniques that create it just as quickly. So everyone is always up your ass when you do something new, so it happens all really fast. So I saw a preview last night of this year's work at Cannes that's probably likely to win, and the whole game has moved on exponentially to a whole new level. And it just, again, it blew me away. It's only a year later and I'm going, fuck, I've got to keep up with this. So luckily I get to go to Cannes every year in order to keep up with it, right? So in a couple of weeks in Cannes, I suspect that our luck or skill at avoiding the worst of the global economic downturn will probably be reflected in a lower award tally, because I guess our reduced fear takes its toll on our propensity to take creative risks, which is why we need to get rid of Kevin Rudd, because he saved us from the worst of the... anyway, that's another seminar. Simultaneously, though, other more nervous countries, and this is just my hypothesis, right, because a lot of countries doing it really tough, I think simultaneously, while we've been just narrowly avoiding the worst disaster of all time, other countries that haven't will be demonstrating their need to try something new. So I'm predicting that we'll have a really moderate year. And just kind of to finish up, I wanted to show you 2 more examples of things that happened last year that just blew me away. The first one is a short case history, again 3 minutes, for a newspaper called The Zimbabwean. And it's pretty self-explanatory. I just love the idea that the guys created to bring this to life. Again, hardly no money. I mean, really tiny budgets, less than $500,000 got this thing off the ground. Have a look at it.
This is the story of a $1 trillion campaign and how we turned money into a medium. Zimbabwe has been destroyed by the Mugabe regime, and if a journalist mentions any of this, they are beaten and driven into exile, which is exactly what happened to our client, a newspaper called The Zimbabwean.
They will get arrested and get bashed by the police.
But intimidating the Zimbabwean was not enough for the Mugabe regime. They declared the paper a luxury and put a tax on it in foreign currency that makes it unaffordable for the average, impoverished Zimbabwean. This is a dictatorship that stays in power by printing money and crushing freedom of speech. To get the paper into Zimbabwean hands, it needs to be subsidized, and our client can only do that by raising awareness and driving sales outside Zimbabwe. So we developed a unique solution. One of the most eloquent symbols of Zimbabwe's collapse is the Zim $1 trillion note, a symptom of their world record inflation. This banknote and the dizzying escalation of notes that preceded it cannot buy anything, not even a loaf of bread, and certainly not any advertising. But it can become the advertising. We took this useless currency, cheaper than paper, and printed our messages all over it. The money became the media. In rush hour traffic, millions and billions were given out, one note at a time, at Johannesburg's busiest intersections. We handed out money at shopping malls, universities, and street corners. We even sent bundles of cash to captains of industry, politicians, and media personalities.
$100 trillion. Look at this, my buddy. Just tell us if this is real.
Wherever the Zimbabwean was sold, we put up posters made of real money. At every public place we could, we had a poster with notes that people could detach to keep the web address and show their friends. We took thousands of banknotes and made murals on city streets with trillion-dollar wallpaper. We even made the world's first billboards out of real money. Overnight, trillions of dollars of Zimbabwean notes achieved what they'd never been able to buy: real and meaningful advertising coverage. Within hours, we were in the national press. And a couple of days later, the campaign was on national television and radio. And then the internet discovered it, and it spread across the world. Soon we were on the New York Times site, Yahoo News, the Huffington Post, and hundreds of websites and blogs. As the campaign continues, sales of the Zimbabwean continue to soar. In the week of the rollout alone, the website logged over 2 million hits. More copies of the Zimbabwean than ever are crossing the border into Zimbabwe. We use Mugabe's own creation against him.
It wasn't not overly surprising that won the Grand Prix in Cannes last year, so actually won the highest award you can win over there for creativity. I'm going to leave you with one more thing, and it's a little bit wacky, and I do apologise in advance to anybody who's Japanese in the audience, but it is funny when you go to Cannes and you look at the Japanese entries, because they are so wacky. It's kind of like, what are these people doing? You know, you try to understand the culture through the advertising. This is amazing. This is Japan at its best. Here they've created an entirely new media, never before seen. And, you know, it's just, I mean, I don't know if I love it or not, but it's pretty out there, so have a look. Here it comes. We joked in the judging room that it was Scarborough Fair played in fart, but I don't know. So it was just a really unusual thing. And if you want to see any of the stuff we've done, bwm.com.au is the website for the ad agency that I'm a partner in, Belgiovane Williams Mackay. Thanks.